Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Thanksgiving. We here at our house are getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving here in a few hours. So what I wanted to do was kind of give you a rundown of the Venture Tech Rack by Putco. Installed that on the Tundra about a month ago. Getting ready now to do a long-term review on an Ironman 4x4 rooftop tent. And on the instructions for installing the included tent hardware, tent attachment hardware that comes with your Putco, this plate will mount to either the crossbar or the main hoops. It's elevated, as you can see here, and then it will attach to your rooftop tent to the extrusions on the bottom of most of your rooftop tents. Now, this foot pattern that's included, I'm not exactly sure. They did not include any directions. I called yesterday, and in their defense, there was the tech guy was out for Thanksgiving, so I talked to one of the guys in sales. Told me to just take some pictures of exactly what I was talking about. They would make sure that somebody answered me back. I also have a front runner roof rack on my Forerunner. I have tent attachment hardware for it, also elevated. It has slats. Each of these attach to two different load bars that go across. Then one bolt on the tent will go through and attach here. So it's just one point of contact. I plan to either try to make these work on the Putco rack, or I am going to center punch and drill a hole in this just so I can center the weight between all the bolts. Since there wasn't any included description and what I could find on the internet, most people just went with sticking a bolt through one side of this, and like I said, it would have a weight bearing would be offset, and I would feel more comfortable with it being centered. So I am either going to use these, drill a new hole, or find a way to temporarily use the front runner hardware. Hesitant to use these just because if it were to get any kind of warpage or anything like that, and I chose to put an RTT on my front runner roof rack, I do not want these to be messed up. So also did a pretty extensive internet search to see if anyone else had incurred the same problem or their solution to the problem. I wasn't able to find anything, although I did have other people, or found that other people had a similar issue with the descriptions on how to use the supplied bracket. So anyway, we're going to be installing, like I said, an Ironman 4x4 tent. I've got it in the back of the pickup right now, just down in the pickup bed, and I'm going to get it kind of cleaned off because it's rather dusty. It has not been on my vehicle since 2014. That's 6 years if you're counting. It's been in storage, long-term storage. I haven't even had it out and really inspected it. My brother had borrowed it when we were in San Francisco, and forgot that it was on the top of his Land Rover, and blew into his garage, and it pushed it down, and it forced the ladder into its extended position, and it tore the transit bag, the vinyl PVC vinyl cover that goes over it. And anyway, haven't really inspected it since then, so we're just gonna mount it just to get familiar with how that will work on this Venture Tech Rack. And I might be able to use this tent, and I might not. So we open it up, let it air out, set it up. I'm gonna inspect it for holes or any further damage as far as from when it got messed up previous. So like I said, it's also been in long-term storage, so you just never know. It may be full of mold. So Anyway, we're going to inspect that as well. Thank you for watching. All right, so I felt like the best thing I could possibly do here would be to just try to work it out and set it in the floor. Or I have a couple of roll around carts, so I might just try to center it on one of those and take it out here and give it a good wash off on the outside. Remove the cover and then just inspect the floor of the tent from inside. And then I can start to make some measurements to see exactly where I want those brackets to sit. Now the crazy thing is, it's still in pretty good shape here. You can see zipper's a little tight, but there might be you can see where the dust kind of got through. These mesh nets are going to tell the story on usability. Well, if you're counting it, that took at least 5 minutes, but I'll have to cut all that out, so you won't see it anyway. All right, let's get this nasty cover off. Got a little crack in the plastic right here. Few dents in the floor, but for the most part, taking a pretty good hit like that. I mean, the only thing I could equate it to out on the trail would be like if you hit a, thought you were going to clearance a tree and you didn't. It's about the same thing, I guess. It just seems to be loose. Well, overall, looks like it's in pretty good shape. And all this stuff looks like it would be replaceable. So if that's a concern, the straps are still in excellent shape. Wow. That's crazy impressive. It has just been stored in a warehouse that's somewhat exposed to the elements, but Yeah, that's crazy. Really crazy. You too many. Looks like that's slightly damaged here, but I'm not sure whether or not that would even be worth fretting over. As long as we sealed it from the inside where it doesn't get moisture, it would be. All right, so the front to back distance that we're working with is roughly 56 inches. Okay, so the tent dimensionally is almost identical in size to the footprint that's up here. So what I'm going to try to do is now measure exactly the distance to try to have it centered up here to where the little extrusion pieces that run front to back will actually sit on. And we may, just for the sake of mocking it up, I may not be drilling holes quite at this point, but anyway, I just need to get it somehow nice and stable where I can fold it out and look at the bottom side of it and just inspect everything for damage. Because that would be the, I don't want to go to all that effort and it actually leak or get water in, condensation or whatnot. So anyway, all right, so we're gonna make a few more measurements here. It's 42 inches, so I'll need to be 5 inches to each side, and then actually kind of adjust from there because the holes are going to be inset. So that'll at least give us a starting point. What I'm going to do at this time is I'm going to take the opportunity to go back around and I'm going to retighten all of my bolts on the tech rack. Install the feet for the tent bracket and devise a way to do this by myself to get it up there and into place. Any of y'all have a speeding neighbor problem? We've got a speeding neighbor problem. I don't exactly know how to handle it. You got a little kid just learning to ride a bicycle that could be out in the street at any possible time, of course usually with adult supervision. But when you go by in a neighborhood driving 60 miles an hour, I call that over the line. Completely over the line. All right, so the goal here, my ladder is almost the perfect height to support on one end of it, and then I can just work it up onto the rack. And so this should work. They're really not that heavy. It's just awkward. I basically just took the weight off of it so I could get the my bolts lined up in here. You can see that with the light behind it. Yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna need 4 bolts slid up into that extrusion, and as long as I'm fairly close with the other, I can adjust it a little bit better when I get it up there. All right. I didn't film any of what just took place to get this up here. I did it by myself. It's not that it's that heavy. It's just beyond your basic wingspan of most of human people. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Put a few new little dents here on the top. But anyway, the big concern now is whether or not I can actually pull out of here with it on. So I might have to shave this ladder off of here and then give it a go that way. But hopefully we can just pull right on out. I did not, it would have been very comical. I kind of wish I would have now, but yeah, it's super difficult. Just get a couple of buddies and it's a whole lot easier. I had to do a little adjusting once I got up. I was just basically, if you can get the front 2 corners done, it's where the access, the cab of the truck is going to get in the way. So if you wait and then square it up from back here, it's going to work a whole lot better for you. Unless, I said, like, you've got a neighborhood full of people willing to help, or your buddies, drink some cold ones, whatnot. Anyway, yeah, I'm a physical wreck at this point. I am sweating. It is too much labor for your Thanksgiving holiday. But it's on here, fixing to pull it out. Gonna pop it open, let it air out for a minute, and I'll keep it in the dry tonight. Tweak on a little bit more this weekend. I've got a new cover for the mattress, and I'm gonna get a little memory foam put in there and some different things like that. Let the kid look at it for the first time. I'm sure he's gonna enjoy this. So anyway, all right, we'll just pick this up later in the video. Thank you. All right, I'll show that in more detail here in a minute, but there is one slight issue, just I guess from the impact. The tent material is held on to that base plate all the way around, and apparently, and it could have been just from storage, that's why I'm setting it up just to let it air out, but got a little bit of an issue with, looks like the material should come this way, because the poles for the tent opening above the windows do not line up with the pre-drilled slots on this side. So I don't know if that's just something with the yeah, I'm just not sure. But anyway, and it could be that it's a little bit irregular. It needs to go in that way. I'll show you what I'm talking about. See, if you look at it from here, see it doesn't completely lie flat with the this end, so it's kind of got a little bit of a bow in the middle. So I may have a hinge issue, but anyway, that may be just needing some adjustment. Probably could undo the hinge, let it settle where it needs to be, and then tighten it back in. As you can see, it's having to go underneath right here. Anyway. Alright, we're gonna set this up the rest of the way, let it breathe for a little bit, and then I'm gonna get in it here later and just kind of make a checklist of what needs to be fixed. A few things of note if you're going to mount an RTT to the Venture Tech Rack. Depending on the cab height of your truck that you're putting it on, you may run into an issue of not being able to fully seat the little arms that connect the rainfly over the window on the cab side of the truck. To remedy this, I'm going to have to actually probably slide the tent back an additional 3 to 4 inches just to ensure that I can properly seat that in the base plate. Otherwise, you run the risk of the wind getting up, dislodging that, and possibly scratching the back of the vehicle. So, here it is, all set up and installed. Not bad for being in storage for 6 years. I figured we would have possibly some tears, pinholes. The material has one little stress mark in it on one corner, but I don't suspect that that's going to give much of an issue. Switch this camera angle around. It's just, I can't get over the fact that it is, like I said, I see a few little pinholes here and there where you got some thin spots. I don't know if you can see that or not. Got a little bit of a little air gap there, a little light gap. A couple of little stitchings on the corners. I've got some slight spots to them, but they're actually behind the rainfly, so I don't really. I don't think that there would be that much of an issue. So I got this tent in 2011, I believe, and used it quite a bit for the first couple of years. And then, like I said, incurred some pretty significant damage. My brother forgot that it was on the roof of his Land Rover and pulled into the garage. And so, yeah, anyway, we got a few issues. Looks like it's a little bit slightly, maybe a little crooked. The bottom platform, the part that stays on the top, might be just a slight bit warped. But all in all, it's serviceable. So what I'm thinking about doing at this point, since there's no mold, no dirt on the inside of it, and it's safe to use, I'm gonna have to get some of this bedding out of here to make sure that we don't have any brown recluses, because I do see some. I don't do spiders. There's a remnants of some spiders in here. They're probably nothing to worry about, but I'm kind of a tit when it comes to spiders. So anyway, gonna let it air out. I'm gonna probably end up getting do a new mattress. Tepui, or however you say it, tents. Their Kukamon 3-person tent, I believe, is the footprint's the same size. So I'm thinking about getting a nice memory foam replacement mattress, since this one's been shut up for so long, and we'll do that, and then continue to maybe do a condensation mat. I'd like to replace the ladder at some point in time, given somebody gets one in stock. I don't want to do an Amazon special on a ladder, but I'd like to do a telescoping ladder. It's just something that I think would be easier, a little bit more substantial, and plus that ladder's warped. So there you go. There's another reason. Anyway, sitting up here on top of the Venture Tech Rack, feels stable. The truck doesn't move much. I was a bit concerned that whenever we would get it up here, that it would, just because of the way that it mounts, I felt like there might be some play in that mount, and it would be a little tippy feeling. It's not. So far everything feels good. And anyway, that's my long-term review with the tent. I honestly did not know what to expect, and of course, with continued use, some of these components may have degraded to a point that it starts to give issues going forward. But if that's the case, we'll do a future review to talk about that. But anyway, so we're starting to build up this Tundra for camping and overland travel, and I think next we'll get the side panels for the mounting brackets, side panels for the Venture Tech Rack, and fill those out with some action tracks, and possibly on the other side do some water and jerry can Rotopax mounts. And anyway, so if you stuck with us this long, thanks for watching. I plan on doing some more long-term reviews. I still got to do a complete review of the 4Runner. Just need to kind of clean it up first and get everything organized. But thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and come back and see us for more. I got you. Come on. Big step. It's a long ways. Yeah, it's a long ways. Can't get it. There you go. You got it. You got it. There you go. Yep. What do you think about it? Huh? You're just going up and down. That's all you're doing. Huh? Uh-huh. Mama? That's not Mama. Mm. Be careful. You got it. There you go. Alright. You gonna sleep up here? No? You gonna sleep down? You got a snotty nose. We gotta go fix it again. Yeah. Alright. Alright, come on, let me get you.